Let me just share my screen as well.
Hello, Priya. Yes, that's right. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, you are audible.
We have a quick question. Actually, I was trying to, do some back testing, and I was slightly confused whether I should, there are two options, like one, a platform like Straight, like which provides a graphical user interface, right? I can simply drag and drop indicators, functions as variables, and I can backtest it on a month data or on a year's data, right? So there is another way, right? I can completely write a code in Python and I can backtest it, right? So what would you suggest? Like, should I go for the first option or the second option? And yeah, that's my first question. And secondly, in order to backtest, right, I also want to backtest is based on reliable data. I'm not sure if I'm going with the second option, where should I capture that last 20-year data? Right from the like, is there a website somewhere like where I can download it and I can just do a backtest? Yeah.
Yeah, so my suggestion is if you have got a basic idea about the indicators and how the candlesticks work out, and you have formed your own strategies based around the indicators, you can always go to this website. I hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, Priya.
Yeah, great. So there is a website called chartinc.com. So in charting.com, you can always go and create scans. So let me just show you one of the scans. In fact, just let's see this one of the scans which we are currently having. It is more like an algorithm only. You are designing your own algorithm to find which all particular charts or which all particular stocks come into this particular category. So what I've done here is stock passes all of the below filters in Nifty 100. So I can put Nifty 50, I can put various indices, and what all things I want, whether I want that the stock should pass or fail any particular index, whether it should pass any or all of the algorithms that we are designing. So you can always, let's say, for example, maybe if we can take this as an example to understand that how to make algorithms or how to make the scanners. So here what I'm saying is I want to design something that there is something called moving average. So 20 moving average. Whenever a particular stock on a daily time frame goes from below 20 moving average, I mean crosses 20 moving average in either direction. So what I've done is that the low is less than or equal to the latest 20 moving average, and the high is greater than or equal to the 20 moving average. Then I can always do run scan. So based on the last received data and the last market price close for whatever index that I have taken, so it will start throwing me the results. So let's go to, for example, Ultra Cement. So I'll just put an indicator here. Yeah. As you can see, this is a 20-day moving average line. So this, the one you can see in the blue color, so this is a 20-day moving average line. Why 20 is, it's basically 20 moving average line. I have taken 1 day candlestick, so that's why it is showing 20-day moving average number on closing basis. So what did I say in my scanner is that the stocks should be crossing 20-day moving average in either direction. So you can see that this particular stock, Ultra Cement, this is the 20-day moving average. This is the open price for the candle as we discussed in the last session. This is the low price, this is the high, and this is the close. So the 20-day moving average has crossed, the stock has crossed 20-day moving average on this particular day. So you can take this chart ink and you can make a lot of scanners. I have my list of scanners here. The 20 below 20 week moving average, crossing 20-day moving average, below 4 hour Bollinger Bands. This is one of the tests. And yeah, coming to your second question, that how to backtest. So you can use this website only to do the backtest. here you can see there's something mentioned as backtest results. So you can go backtest. It will give you all the stocks which have on a particular date which have passed this particular scan that we have designed. So you can always go back to, let's say, if we go back to 19th or 18th of August. So Hero Motor Company on 18th of August was a possible candidate, was a candidate in fact for this particular scan. So I hope I've answered both your questions. How to do how to do how to design algorithms and how to backtest. So this is one very good website where you can actually design and backtest your strategies.
Bhaiya, I just have a follow-up question as well.
Yeah.
The thing is that like after completing my back test, and if I'm comfortable with it, and I want to deploy that set of instructions. So is it possible using charting? Like I can deploy it because I remember that Zerodha has an official partnership with Stripe. So that was my first go-to platform. So like, can I use charting for deploying over Zerodha?
I think if you immediately want to do the scanning and want to deploy the same onto the charts, the better website would be Varcity. There's something from Zerodha. There's also something known as Sensible. So there are other websites which you can use. Charting would not be the right platform for that.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so guys, I think we can start. So today's session is all about candlesticks. Last week we got a basic idea about what are candlesticks, how they are formed. So now we'll be drilling down on, first of all, we'll discuss about some of the market jargons. Now that you are in session 3, you know the basic idea you have got about the market, how stock market works, etc. So tomorrow, if somebody discusses with you some kind of jargons, you should be able to understand. So, and why I'm introducing the jargons right now is that sometimes I also use those jargons during the sessions. So you should be well versed with them. So in the second half, we'll also discuss about the types of candles, their applications, and then we'll test them on the live charts as well. So starting with the market jargons. So first we'll discuss about something called long and short. So you'll hear many times in the market that I am long on Reliance or I'm short on Bank Nifty. So when I'm saying I'm long on Reliance means my view is long-term view. I mean, you can just for your understanding, it doesn't mean like that, but just for your understanding, long means that I am looking at a long-term horizon, and in the long term, market generally goes up. So you can associate that long means I am a bull and I am expecting the price to go up. The opposite end of long is short. Short means I'm just looking for some short-term gains, and in short term, I am expecting the price to go down. So as we always discussed, that market doesn't go in one direction. Market always goes in a particular direction, retraces in the opposite direction, then again follows the same trend. So if I have to play on that retracement part for a short duration in the long-term trend, I can always short a particular stock or a particular future, options, etc. So long means I'm buying, short means I'm selling. The next aspect we'll discuss about is volumes. So you will hear many times that 5 lakh shares was the volume for today. Today's volume was higher than yesterday's volume. So when we say 5 lakh shares, that means 5 lakh shares have exchanged hands during that particular time frame, whether it is 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So if we'll just go on to the chart, and if I put volume here, and this is in index, so index doesn't have any kind of volume. Index future will be having volume. Now this is a stock Reliance, and here you can see on the bottom part that these are the volumes. So these candles, I mean, not the candles, these bars show the volumes in lakhs or in thousands, etc. So, and you can see it here that what is the volume number. So, for example, on 27th of August, 4.837 million. Just for this, yeah. So 4.837 million shares exchanged hands during 27th of August period. Same thing for 26th of August was 8.579 million shares. So this also includes the intraday volume as well as the long-term volume. Now, volume is one of the indicators. So when we'll discuss about indicators in one dedicated session, we'll discuss about what is the what to imply from high volumes or low volumes and the price movements. So for today, just let us understand that the volume means the number of stocks that or shares which have exchanged hand on that particular day. Now, if I change this particular chart to, let's say, 5 minutes, I will get the volumes which have happened during 5-minute candles. So let's say from in the last 5 minutes, that is from 3:25 to 3:30 of 27th August India Standard Time, only 148,000. You can see it here. 148,000 shares have exchanged hands. Then third thing is a very interesting aspect. So this is a very deep topic called price action. So price action in itself will require something like 2 to 3 sessions. So, but I'll just give you an idea for you to understand that what is price action and what is the meaning when we say that, okay, that we are discussing something about price action. So let me just go to Bitcoin. I think I already have it here. Yeah, I think we discussed it last time as well. So I'll just remove all the indicators. Yeah, so see, these are the drawings that we made the other day. So if I just take this diagram to be as line, I'll just remove all the drawings. Yeah, so this is what we call as price action. So what we are defining here is price action. Price action is nothing but a higher, so the market starts from here. Okay, this is our starting point of reference. For example, that is 21st of July. So from 21st of July, we can see that the market is going up, but the market doesn't go up like this, right? Market doesn't go up like this. Market always gives retracements. So these are retracements. You can see market goes up, small, it will come down. Again, it will go up. Then we'll give some kind of retracement. Again, go up, retracement, and then now it is consolidating. Now, what do you mean by price action? Price action is nothing but a higher high and a higher low kind of a chart pattern. So here this is higher high. So this is one high, right? So if we take the reference point from 20th of July, this is one high. This is the first low. Now again, when the market has done retracement, this is second high. So this high, the second high is higher than the previous high. So we have something called higher high. And then this is the lower point, right? This is, so what we are talking about here about high and low is these are the swing points. So where the market is turning, you can see that the market is turning. So these swing points is what we are talking about. This is one high, this is one low. This is the second high, this is the second low. So higher high pattern, higher low pattern. So here, never the market has actually breached the previous low swing points. Now it has breached and now the market is going in sort of a consolidation. So what is price action? Price action is nothing but a higher high, higher low kind of a chart pattern. Similarly, on the downside, we can always see, I'll just remove this. Sorry. So here also we can see that once market broke this particular channel, so it came down, gave some kind of retracement. So this was, if we take this point as the high point, and now where is the next swing point? The next swing point is coming here. right? From where a considerable amount of price fluctuation is happening. That is the swing point, or where you can say the point of inflection, where the market is changing direction. So market change direction here. So this is one high point. Okay, this is second high point. This is the first low point. So you can see that the high points are now becoming lower. So we have lower highs. Here we were having higher highs and higher lows. Right here, now we are talking about is lower highs and lower lows. You can see lower low, where the market has given some kind of retracement, lower low, lower lows, lower lows. So market is going down in this channel with lower lows, and this channel with lower highs, one high, second high, third high. This is a false breakout. Okay, then again a lower high. Now why this particular false breakout is not much of a significance is because people would not enter in this particular trade. Why? Because there is no confirmation. Had the market gone up like this, come down, and then again would have breached this particular point, then people would have entered into the long positions here. That long means buy. So as you can see, this is price action: higher high, higher low pattern, lower high, lower low pattern. So higher high, higher low pattern, and lower high, lower low pattern. Yeah. So this is what we know. This is what we call as, in simple terms, price action. Then another thing people talk about in trading languages, something called pyramiding and averaging. So what do you mean by pyramid? So pyramid is nothing but, it's an upward slope where some kind of triangle pattern. So what happens? What do we mean by pyramiding? Pyramiding means that, okay, I have bought some stocks here. For example, in an ideal scenario, nobody will. I mean, some people definitely would have bought here. But if I'm saying that I will target this point, then I'm not the right person. Let's say, for example, on a hypothetical basis, I have bought some stocks or I have bought some bitcoins at this point of time. Now, when the price has started moving in my direction, sorry, excuse me, just a minute, please. The TV started actually. Yeah. So when the market has started moving in my direction, I will start buying more in order to. So as and how my price is going in my direction, let's say I bought 100 stocks, 100 bitcoins here at the price of, let's say, around 30,000. Now when the price went to 35,000, I bought another 100. Okay. One can always say that, okay, instead you should be booking profits. No, the price is going down in your direction. Why are you not booking profits? On the contrary, you are again buying. So what will happen if I have bought 100 shares at 30,000 and another 100 at 35,000 or 36,000? My average price will become 33,000 for 200 shares. Right now, any movement which will be happening above 36,000 level, I will be getting double benefits. Right. So this is what we call pyramiding. As and how the price is going into your direction, you are adding. And then let's say if I close my position at this point, for example, I close my position at the level of 38,000. Now on 100 shares, I have made money of close to 8,000, and on another 100 shares, I have made money of close to around 2,000 to 3,000. So that will be my total profit. This is what we call as pyramiding. Pyramiding can happen in both. Pyramiding will happen whenever the price is moving into your direction and you are accumulating your stocks further. So, or stocks or particular options or futures, etc. You start buying more because the direction is in your favor. Now, exact opposite of this is what we call as averaging. Averaging means, let's say, for example, you have bought Bitcoin at 50,000. Okay, you are thinking like a retail trader. Price has gone down from 63,000 to 50,000. Raman, how much it will fall more? So, let us start buying. Okay, no problem. There will be many people, small amount of people who would have bought. That's why we have got some kind of retracement here. So what is averaging is, let's say I bought something at 50,000. Then price has gone down. Price has gone against my direction. So at the level of 43,000 or 45,000, I will buy another 100. So here I have bought 100. Here again, I will buy another 100. Okay, when the price is going down again, I will buy another 100. So this is what we call as averaging. Which one is better, whether pyramiding or averaging, we'll discuss in future sessions. But just for the understanding of the terminology, pyramiding is when the price is going into your direction, you are adding the stocks, increasing your average price and quantity. Averaging means you're adding the prices when adding the stocks when the prices is going against your direction, increasing the quantity but decreasing your overall average bought price. Yeah. So that is what we define. That is how we define pyramiding and averaging. So we have discussed about long, short. What is long means buy, short means sell. Volume is number of stocks or asset which have exchanged hand on that particular day or time frame. Price action is nothing but higher high, higher low kind of chart pattern, lower low, lower high kind of chart pattern. Pyramiding means buying the particular stock when it is going in your direction. Averaging means buying more stocks, accumulating more stocks when it is going against your direction. Now we'll move to the main topic of today's discussion. So we'll discuss now about candlesticks. So in the last session, I think the same slide was there. So this is just a brief recap. So candlesticks are nothing but a fight between the bull and the bear, and at the end of that time frame, who won and by how much margin is shown by a candlestick. A candlestick has two aspects. One is the body, other one is the shadow. Bigger the body, more is the conviction. That means more is the margin of victory, whether by bulls or by bulls or by bears. Or and bigger the shadow, more is the confusion. So if body is very small and we can see long shadows, that means it is like a tug fight. So both bulls and bears have fought hard, but after 15 minutes or one day, neither of them has come out shining as a winner. So that was a quick recap of our last discussion. Now, as we always discussed, that candlesticks were defined and were invented by Japanese, and so the first candlestick has a Japanese name called doji. Doji is nothing but this kind of candlestick scenario where the open and the close price is nearly the same. The bulls and the bears both fought, but at the end of the day, they both it's like a draw test match. After 5 days, nobody has been declared as a clear winner, right? So let's say neither the bulls nor the bears were declared as the winner. Why? Because bulls tried to take the price up. This is on the left hand side is the price. So the bulls tried to take the price up in that particular day. Bears again started fighting hard, brought the price below the open price, but bulls again started fighting, and the open and the close price was nearly the same. So how it looks like? It has hardly any body, but very long shadows. And whenever there is long shadow, what did we discuss? Bigger the shadow, more the confusion. So indication, what it indicates is there is indecision in the market, or there is complete confusion in the market. And this is a sign of caution. Why it is a sign of caution? Because now if there is an uptrend and we are finding this kind of a doji signal, we can see that neither the bulls have lost their steam, or if it is a downtrend, we can say that the bears have lost the steam. Why? Because now bulls and bears are fighting hard, and there is no clear winner. There are three broad variations of doji. So one is what we call as gravestone doji. So gravestone doji is nothing but the open price, close, and the low price is the same. Exact opposite is what we call as dragonfly doji. And when there is a small body, we call as spinning top scenario. So each of these doji variation, when it forms at a particular after a particular uptrend or downtrend, has a lot of significance. How? Now we'll see it on the chart. So let's open dollar index. DXY is nothing but dollar index. So let me just put candles. Yeah. So here we are talking about 4th of December. So if we can go on 4th of December, we are finding there's something called, yeah. You can see here on this particular candle, you can see that open price was somewhere around 90.689. This is an index, dollar index. And it is like how the dollar currency is behaving against a basket of currencies like British pound, euro, etc. So the bulls, that means the dollar demand started increasing. Again, the other currency demands then started matching the dollar demand and started dropping the dollar index. And at the same time, there was buying of dollar, which happened at the level of 90.5. And we made something called doji. That means that it is an indication that there has been a long downtrend. Now you can see that this one won by bears. So bears are winning continuously and they have been able to drag the price down by close to around, if I can say, from this high to this low. There's a drop of close to around 3%. So 3% they have been able to drop the value of the dollar against the basket of currencies. But now when we see this candle, we should actually both the bulls and bears should become very cautious. Why bulls will become cautious is because now they are sensing that maybe the bears are now losing the strength after let's say 2 weeks or 10-15 days. Bears and bulls are now matching each other's power. And if we can see, and these candles always require something called a confirmation. So people would do an entry at the top of this particular candle. That means now bulls and bears have matched each other. Now when the top of this particular candle will be broken, people will start make a long entry. Long means buying entry. They will start buying dollars. So you can see now there has been small retracement in the price. But the retracement was very small. Bears again started hammering the price down. Right? So, but what we want to understand here is there is some kind of potential change in the pattern. So price was going down. After this, you can see there has been some uptick in this area. There has been some kind of uptick. Price was going down, made a doji candle. Doji means indecision in the market. Market made some kind of a retracement. Yeah. Now, if we open Bank Nifty, if we can see any doji candle, yeah, let's see this. Yeah. So if you can see here, market was going up. No, then it made what we'll discuss in our upcoming slides, something called bearish engulfing. Bearish engulfing means this particular candle has nearly engulfed the previous candle, right? So it has made something called a bearish engulfing and market started dropping. Now market dropped from this point to this point. After this, it has made something called a caution. Caution means neither the bulls nor the bears are able to win the matches. Now for the next day also, neither market was in complete sense of indecision. Nobody is a complete winner. Then again, the broad trend started following and market started dropping. So indecision or this doji candle gives some kind of a market is in a long-term downtrend or in a long-term uptrend, doji candles are considered as that the market is resting before the next move. Okay, whether in the opposite direction or in the same direction. So people have to wait that, okay, if they can get an entry above the high of this particular candle, then only they will enter into the long side, or once the low of this particular doji candle is broken, then they will go into a short side like that. So this is what we call as a doji candle. Doji means indecision in the candlestick scenarios. Now, A gravestone doji is nothing but that the bulls tried to take the price up. They were not able to sustain at high levels and immediately were hammered by the bears. And the open and the close price is the same. Now, immediately once the low price, low, open or close, because all three are the same price because there is no body. So once this low of this particular candle is broken, people will enter into a short trade. So what will happen here is nothing but, if I can see sorry, a gravestone doji kind of scenario. Yeah. So as you can see, market was in an uptrend before this. Market was in an uptrend. Yeah. Now here it made something known as a doji, right? Exactly how it looks like this. So it may not be exactly, but in similar scenario, you just have to understand the psychology of the market. Psychology of the market is after such a bull run, market went up from 29,000 to close to around 32,000, close to 10% kind of a move. After that, it is making something called a doji candle, a gravestone doji kind of a scenario. People will enter short after the low of this particular candle is broken. That means people have entered short here. And once they've entered short, they will be making profits on this candle, on this candle. So for the next 2 days, this is now showing a sign of trend reversal, right? Before that, market was making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now here you can see that the previous low has been tested. Now that is not a higher low, it is the same low. Now market could not sustain at a, could not give a higher high, right? It could not cross and close above the top of this particular high. So if I will just make this as a line diagram, this is on 15th of January. If I'll remove everything. Yeah, so you can see here. So market was making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, a higher high. A higher high has been made here. Now this low has been breached. We have made a gravestone doji kind of candle here. Okay, giving a potential caution sign for bulls, stating that the market has run too much. Maybe now bulls have to become cautious that there can be a trend reversal. Why bear should become cautious is this can be an entry point. Bear means shorting the market, bringing the market down. Short means sell. So, and now you can see the market could not give a higher high. So market gave a higher low. If you can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, but a lower low. So this was the previous low. This is the new low, right? Now this high was not broken. Now we have given a lower high as well. So this is a potential reversal of the market. Agreed? So a gravestone doji was formed here. A very beautiful demonstration of how candles work, and it is not magic. So it is how candles are defined, and all these candles have been strategized based on lots and lots of years statistical data. So now you can see a gravestone doji formed a trend reversal. Now this low has also been broken. Now it is making a lower high as compared to the previous high, and now a lower low. A lower high now here as compared to the previous high, and a lower low. Trend again reversed from here. So that's a different scenario. But what we were trying to understand is what we call as a gravestone doji. Similarly, a dragonfly doji will give exactly the same at the bottom of the trend. So let's see if we can find something called, yes. You can see dragonfly doji, a dragonfly doji, right? So what has happened here? After this dragonfly doji kind of a scenario, market open and close price are nearly the same. Bears tried to bring the price down, but they were absolutely outdone by the bears. Bears tried to bring the price down. They were absolutely outdone by the bulls, who again took the price up. And then the market made a very strong reversal. So market was going down, made a doji, and now there is a reversal. And now you can see here, market has just boomed from here. See? Such a strong move. And here also this low was not broken. That means the overall trend of the market still remains high, still remains positive. Had this low been broken, then we can say that the market is now either reversing the trend or is in a form of a consolidation. A spinning top is also one form where the open and close price have some difference, and if this forms at so this is also very much something very similar to what a doji. That means the market is not able to decide. It can go in either direction. But this gravestone doji and dragonfly doji, they are clear signals, provided they form at the top of the channel after an uptrend or after a downtrend. After a downtrend, dragonfly doji has formed and market has reversed. Then it makes a gravestone doji, market has reversed. Yeah, and this is what we call as a spinning top. Spinning top means market is not able to decide what to do. A spinning top, market is not able to decide. You will find a lot of spinning tops whenever the market is in form of a consolidation. So market was consolidating in this channel. Consolidation is nothing but, if you can see, here is a clear trend, right? There is a clear trend, but now here there is nothing. This is what we call as khichdi. So this is all khichdi which is being getting cooked. Neither the bulls nor the bears are able to make strong up move or down move. Once this particular consolidation channel has been broken, and then the market has dropped down again. Yeah, so this is what we call as dojis. The next candle we will discuss about it, what we call as hammer. So you can see something in the very similar to how a hammer looks like. So what is a hammer? Hammer has a long shadow and a small body on one of the directions, either on the bottom side or on the upside of the candle. So showing some kind of depiction of a hammer. These are clear signals. So doji was indecision, that the market is not able to decide. But yes, if it forms after a particular uptrend or downtrend, this can give a sign of a trend reversal. But hammer and or shooting star, they are clear signs that the market is reversing. So market was going down, it makes a hammer, it will start reversing. Why hammer? Let us try to understand the psychology. Market opened here. Bears tried to bring it down, was completely outdone. And on the contrary, the open price was also taken out, and the close price was above the open price. So it's a green candle. So strong hammer candle. Hammer candle, whenever it forms after a downtrend, it's a sign of a reversal. Even if there is a small red candle also forms, we take it as a hammer candle, and we look for confirmation of breaking the high of this particular candle. So let us see where we have formed a hammer candle. That means Bank Nifty 22nd December. Sorry. (22nd of December). Yeah, okay, we have taken this consideration already. Yeah, this is a hammer candle. You can see here. Let me just. Yeah. Can you see this candle? This one. So if you see this particular candle, this is in the form of hammer, exactly looking like this or very similar to this. So market was this is the open price, right? That's why it is showing a green candle. So open price, market was brought down by the bears. Bulls again started fighting and closed above the open price. That is why this is a green candle. Here the open price is this, and the low and the close price is here. On this one, the open price is here and the close price is here. That's why we have a red candle. So this is a pure hammer candle. Hammer candle. So you can see here how it shows a sign of a reversal. Market was coming down from this to this, made a hammer, and then see how the market is behaving now. You can see. So if you would have done an entry somewhere here. That means, so as I'm saying, so these candles always require a confirmation. So for example, if you would have gone on a long entry here, you would have made, it was a one-sided move of close to 14.38 or close to 15%. Why I'm saying it's a one-sided move is because the channel was never compromised. The channel was never compromised. So you can see here. So we did, this is where the hammer was formed. We made a high, we made a low. Now this is neither on the higher side nor on the lower side. So this is not considered to be any kind of swing. Swing is where the market makes a reversal, a considerable amount of reversal. So now you can see this is the second high. So this is a higher high, right? A higher high. And this is the lower low. So this is first low. This is the second low. The third low is also very much in the same. Now here the market is in a confusing direction. So you can see here it made a lower high and a lower low. Now either how we should have made an entry here is if the market would have gone up a bit and then dropped. That is where we should have made a short side entry. But it never gave that kind of confirmation. So then again it broke the the previous high. It again broke. So it made one high here, second high here, third high here, fourth high here, fifth high here, sixth high here. All the highs are higher than the previous high, higher highs, and all the lows are higher than the previous lows. Here there is one kind of a scenario, but we never got a confirmation. Confirmation would have been if the market would have gone like this. So you can see after the formation of the hammer candle, we can see the confirmation and we can see one-sided move. That is why I'm saying it is a one-sided move. Although you can see it's going up, coming down, going up, coming down, but it has never broken the previous lows or the previous has never given a lower highs and confirmation. So this is what we call as a hammer candle. We made a hammer candle. From such a downtrend, market just reversed. So this is where we use a hammer signal. It is a complete signal at the bottom. If it forms at the bottom of the downtrend, we will never know at the bottom of the downtrend. So we can always say that there is a downtrend. We formed a hammer candle. It is a higher probability that the market will reverse from here. And stock market is all about probabilities. There is nothing 100% in this world. So let's go to also take another example of Dow Jones Index on 18th of January. Yes. So this is one hammer candle. You can see here, this is one hammer candle. There was a downtrend. It made a hammer candle, a strong reversal. Then here it made a spinning top. So you can see here again another example of the doji we talked about. Market was in an uptrend. It formed a doji. Below this short, below the low of this particular doji candle, people would have gone short. These two candles are nothing but people trying to scare, market trying to scare the shorters. So people would have gone short after looking at this doji, but then, market will also try to scare. There is no easy money in this world, right? So market will try to scare. So with these two candles, market will try to scare that maybe it will make some kind of reversal and will hit the stop loss. But no, bears again took the charge and brought the market down. Yeah, so we were talking of hammer candle. So this is where the hammer candle was formed and the market reversed from there. Now talking about the next type of candlestick, it is called bullish engulfing. So bullish engulfing, it looks like something like this, where the body of the candle, the second candle, completely engulfs the previous candle. So let's go to Bank Nifty on 22nd of April to see. Yeah. You can see it here. On 22nd of April, that is this candle. So focus on this particular candle, this one. So the body of the candle, that is the second candle, it completely engulfs the previous candle completely, the body as well as the shadows. That means it is a trend reversal again. So here we would have got a double confirmation. Double confirmation, we have just made a hammer, then we have made a bullish engulfing. So it's a very strong confirmation that within 2 days we have got two strong candles, two strong bullish candles. So there'll be a lot of people who would have bought, especially the FIIs or the traders who would have bought at these levels. And then those traders would then have taken the market up. So this is what we call as a bullish engulfing. So similarly, if we have something called this candle. So if you look at this particular candle, this is what you call as bearish engulfing. This is bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfing. Why? Because this is a green candle. Green candle is absolutely overpowering the previous candle. Previous candle, whether it is green or red, it doesn't matter. But the body of this particular candle completely engulfs the previous candle. Similarly, the body of this particular candle completely engulfs the previous candle, but this is a bearish candle. Why? Because this is red. The market opened at this price, it closed at this price. Market opened at this price and has closed at this price. Here, market has opened at this price, closed at this price. So from here, again, a sign of strong bearishness, and now then you can see the bearishness. Once from engulfing to engulfing, there was a trend reversal. So you can also say there is a trend reversal with engulfing to engulfing, or there's a trend reversal from this inverted hammer to hammer. Both are giving you exactly this. So in this one diagram, you can see a perfect execution on the charts for both hammer as well as engulfings. This is what we call as bullish engulfing. Similarly, if there is a red candle, as we have seen in the chart, that is what we call as bearish engulfing. Engulfing means that the candle body has completely engulfed the previous candle body. That means now whether the bears or the bulls, they are in complete command, and they will be the one who will be deciding which way the market will go. Yeah. Now this is a very important pattern. So you can always say that this is an inverse hammer, right? So Raman, you are saying that when this candle has formed, that is, if I can just go back, this candle, right? This is here what we are calling as shooting star candle. So this is a shooting star, but this candle and this candle, that is inverse hammer, they look exactly the same. I mean, is there any difference? So you can see this is also has a lower body, upper shadow. This is also having a lower body, upper shadow. So what is the difference between the two? And this one you are saying is that this you are saying is the potential direction. So that means the market is coming down. It made an inverse hammer, and now the market is going up. But here you are talking that the market is going up. We made an inverse hammer, and now the market is going down. So your theories are completely confusing. So I completely agree that yes, they are confusing, but it is not confusing if you go slightly into the details. Inverse hammer forms at the bottom of the downtrend. So whenever there is a downtrend, we find an inverse hammer, and there is a potential reversal in the market. Here there is no downtrend, right? This is not a downtrend. The previous candle has been an engulfing candle. So a bullish engulfing candle. So you can see this is nearly a bullish engulfing candle. Market is going up. It has just given a retracement. Market is again going up. The overall trend has not been compromised. So this is market is in the upswing. Had that been the case that the market is coming from here, it's slowly and steadily, and then we form this inverse hammer, that means market has come down from the upside, made an inverse hammer, and now the market will reverse. But when this particular inverse hammer, when this shooting star candle is getting formed at the top of a uptrend, this is also a potential reversal. This is also a potential reversal, but in opposite direction. The candles look exactly the same, but whether the falling trend has been downtrend or uptrend, that is what defines what will be the follow up in the market. So let's see Reliance on 29th of June in order to understand in more details. So 29th of June. Yeah, this candle. So you can see here, this candle, yeah, there has been a downtrend. It makes something known as an inverse hammer, or you can say this is sort of a doji also. So we will not take this as the right example. Maybe try to find if we get something called an inverse. Yeah, this here. This is an inverse hammer, right? This candle, this one here. This is an inverse hammer candle. Market is in a downtrend. It made a bit of a pullback, again went down. Overall trend has been negative. It made a inverse hammer, and then it started going into a sort of consolidation. From this part to this part, there has been a small uptrend, although not very strong, because it is if you look at the price action, it made a high. This is the next high. This is the third high. So overall trend still remains downtrend. So market is something like this, goes up, coming down, goes up, coming down. So, but this is giving us some sort of a reversal signature that yes, now there has been a downtrend. We have formed an inverse hammer. Market is now slightly expected to go up. So for a short-term trader, this is good enough to make lakhs on lakhs of rupees. So if you go at a future entry here somewhere, for example, even if you look at the confirmation of this, so let's say at 2100, somebody would have taken Reliance futures. Reliance futures, if I'm not wrong, I think there are, let's say, for example, if we take 100 stocks for the future. So if you have taken 100 stocks, you had the potential of going till 34. So 34 into 100, so you have made close to around 3,400 rupees on a very small time frame. So if you look at the percentage return from here to here, this is a return of close to around 3% in how many days? Just 11 days. Which particular equity market, or sorry, which particular fixed deposit, or which particular FD, or which particular savings account gives 3% returns for 11 days? But if you have some kind of technical knowledge, you can definitely make returns and can compound your money, because it is very important to compound your money. So here also this is something called inverse hammer. Market is going down. Market is going down. We made an inverse hammer. Market reversed. Right? Here also market is going down. We made an inverse hammer. Market started going up. So this is about what we call as inverse hammer, and the difference between an inverse hammer and the shooting star. Shooting star is nothing but an inverse hammer on the uptrend. This is on the downtrend. So I think we're just about 4 to 5 minutes to close the session. So this was about different types of candles, and we have seen the application of these candles on the charts, as well as we have tried to understand some kind of market jargons today, some very basic jargon. So tomorrow you will say that, okay, today Reliance had a lot of has crossed 5 year, has had highest volumes in the last 5 days. So you can understand, okay, what he's talking about. Okay, so in the last 5 days, today, maximum number of stocks have exchanged hands for Reliance. So somebody will say, I'm long on Reliance, or I'm short on BHEL. So you will understand that, okay, what is the mean, what he's trying to say. He has bought Reliance and he has sold BHEL. What is price action? Price action is higher high, higher low, pyramiding average. So we've tried to understand the basics about different types of candlesticks as well as the market jargons. So which people talk about in day-to-day discussions. So now I'll open for Q&A. Let me know if there are any questions. Any questions, any inputs, or any observations that you have found? Yes, yes.
Bhaiya, I have like 3 questions. Number one was that can you please open Nifty bank chart for a time frame of a daily time frame chart. I have a short question on that for mid-February 2021. It was the time when you were like explaining the doji. Yeah. So just right before 15 February. So like this is a doji, right? Mid-February, around 11th or 12th February. Yeah. Yeah. Here. At the top of the bullish cap. Yeah.
All these, in fact, all these are nearly dojis. All this. Okay. So what has happened now? Let me explain. I mean, before we come to your question, let me explain what has happened here. This is where the budget came out. On 1st of February, budget came out for India. Market gave a return of close to, let's say if you would have bought on 29th of January. So market gave a return of close to around 19%, let's say 20% in just 7 days. So just to put things in perspective, the normal FD from the best of the banks in India, or I would say across the globe, in emerging markets will not be more than 8 to 9%. Best case scenario, 10%, depending upon the risk profile of that particular bank. So, but for 1 year, so they are giving you 10% returns for 365 days. Bank Nifty gave a return of 20%, that is double of that return in just 7 days. So you can imagine what strong run has happened here. Now, after this, market is supposed to take some kind of a breather. As I said, dojis are where the breathers happen, right? Before the next leg, whether the market is in the uptrend or in the downtrend, dojis are a sign of relief for the market. The market is running close to 20% in just 4 to 5 days. It will take some kind of relief, and then will follow the overall trend that the market has to follow. Yeah, so all these are dojis. Is now up to your question, please.
Right, Bhaiya. So my question was that when you were talking about Hammer and Doji, so you mentioned that Hammer actually gives a clear signal, like the probability is much more higher as compared to Doji because there is some kind of a confusion between bearish and bullish, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. But just right before Doji, you mentioned a point, line stating that for understanding Doji, it should be like followed by some kind of a trend. Can you please explain that? Like what, like if are we talking about this trend in other candles as well, or is it specific to Doji?
So what I'm saying is not the trend, but the confirmation. So if you see, this is a what we call as a negative doji, right? Bulls tried to take the price up, they were not able to sustain. Bears brought it down. Now, what I'm saying is the confirmation of this. So this is a negative candle, and after an uptrend, it is forming a sort of a gravestone doji. So if on the next day, that is this particular day, if the candle would have been something like this, a candle like this, something like this kind of a candle. So a body which is below, so a close of this is a red candle, I'm assuming. So I'm saying, so now we have got a confirmation that this particular gravestone doji has been confirmed by the next candle, which has closed below the low of this particular doji. So now this is giving a signal that a lot of shorts have built up here. But because this candle, this next candle never closed below or never even came down below the previous low of this particular candle, so there was no confirmation of a negative scenario here. This is all a confirmation of a sigh of relief for the market. This is nothing but a sort of a retracement before the next trend or the next leg of bullishness. So what I'm talking about here is that we always have to, it doesn't mean that, okay, today I have got gravestone doji. Now, whenever immediately the market will open on 8th of February, I will short the market. Okay, then you short the market, you will get small returns also, but immediately your stop loss, which will be placed above the top of this doji, will be taken out and you will be in a loss. Why? Because you did not waited for the next candle to give a confirmation. Confirmation would have been had this candle gone below this particular gravestone doji candle. I hope I'm able to answer your question.
Right. Just a follow up in this question. Like if let's say at around 3:20 p.m. Because of the previous trend, and I believe that it might go in the upward direction as well from this point onwards. So what should be the stop loss like? Because right now I'm unable to see the lower lows which you mentioned. So what should be what kind of
because you've not seen a lower low, so you should ideally not be going into a short position, right? But for the buying also, you have to wait. It doesn't mean that you have not seen a lower low, so you should buy at any given point of time, right? If you would have bought somewhere around 36,700, market came down to 35,385 also. So can you wait for 1,000 or 2 to 3% kind of retracement? No. So whenever we are talking of higher high, higher low, it gives you a sigh of relief that you can stay in the market. If you have gone high, if you have gone long, a higher high, higher low price action is saying that yes, the overall trend is in your direction. It doesn't mean that you should randomly enter in the long position at any given point of time. So why will you enter here? So I mean, ideally, there is no candle which is giving you a signal here that you should go into a long position. So I just want to understand that why you are saying that you want to go long here in this khichdi.
Because there is no sign of retracement. So I thought, and following that particular day, after that the doji which was formed, right? The next one.
Yeah.
Just before this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. So I don't see that since it has not broke the lower value of the previous day, right? This one. So and following that day as well, again, it's like very nearby to it, right?
Yeah.
So like it might be a good trade, right?
Yeah, no, definitely it might be. So see, as I said, whenever you are entering into the market, there is a 50% probability that the market will go into your direction, because that is all that market can do. Either it will go into your direction or it will go against your direction. There is nothing else which will happen, right?
Yeah.
So yes, there is a probability, but that probability of a favorable trade here can be, let's say, 60 to 65%. But a probability of a trade here is somewhere around 80 to 90%. So it is all about probabilities. You are not wrong going into an entry for a long position here, but then you have to look at the probabilities. The position that you will take here will be, let's say, half of the position that you will take here. Why? Because there is a downtrend. Again, overall trend is positive, but there is a small retracement. Here you have made a bullish candle and you go long. Right, so probability of going long on this candle is somewhere around 90% as compared to probability of going long here in this khichdi with the probability of, let's say, 60 to 65%. But if you would have gone long, you would have made money, right? You would have made money. So let's say if we would have gone long at 36,000, it retraced till 35,400. No, your heartbeats would have raised here, but then market again went to your direction.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And we have seen like we are using a daily chart for every different type of stock for this particular session. So like this day, different types of candles, because you mentioned in a previous session that every time frame represents different noise present, right? The variation of amount of noise. Yeah. So like is it ideal to use a daily chart or a weekly chart, or like what would you suggest?
So it depends. So there is no clear-cut answer to this question. So whether you will use a daily chart or a weekly chart depends upon how long you want to go into that particular trade. So if I want to do intraday, maybe I will take like 15 minutes chart. But if I want to go for long-term investment, I will look at 1 week chart. Right. So, and as I said, so the bigger the time frame, the more is the signal that the better the signal that particular candle is giving. Why? Because for one complete day, so for example, if we look at this particular candle, for one complete day, bears were in complete command. So there is a reason, right? Market always works on reasons. So there are some reasons here that there is a complete outperformance of bears, right? So for one particular day, one full trading session, there is a complete performance of bears. That means the underlying tone somewhere can be a sign of a reversal. Plus, you can see that there is a lower low which has formed. After a long uptrend, there is a lower low. And then here you have got the confirmation of the lower low as well. So here, how will you trade in this particular, even if you take, don't take candles and you take what do you call as line diagram. So you can see a higher high. This is a higher high, first high, then lower high, then another lower high, lower high. So from this lower highs, you can see that yes, now the uptrend has somewhere been compromised, but this lower low has this lower low has formed here. Now you will not make entry either here or here. You will have to make an entry somewhere around this pattern when this lower low has been broken, because here there is no lower low. But this is not, this is neither lower low, it is in between, right? So this is a lower low, this is a lower low, and then if you'll go slightly towards the right, this is the next lower low. So you will make, a lot of people would have shorted the market here and not some in this khichdi. Why? Because there is no complete signal, right? And this is the date of 16th of March. Now, if you look at the candles, you can see here bears, strong domination of bears. Now, even if you go for 16th of March on a 15-minute time frame, to go on 15-minute time frame for 16th of March, during that 16th of March also you will get a lot of bullish signals. So it depends whether you are doing a short-term trading, intraday trading, or you are doing a long-term view on you're taking a long-term view on the market. So this is 16th of March, right? In 16th of March also, you're making a lower high. This is the first high, this is the second high, third high, fourth high, and the fifth high. All the highs have been lower highs. This is the first low. This is the second low, nearly close to the first low. Then the third low is lower. Fourth low is lower lows. So price action is also stating that the market is bearish. Overall 1-day candle is also saying that it is bearish. 15-minute candles are also saying it is bearish. You will go into a short trade. But this 15-minute candles will not give you that much conviction what a 1-day candle will show or a 1-week candle will show. So that is the difference between the time frames.
Got it. One last question.
Yeah.
Just in order to understand a trend, is there some ideal benchmark which says that for a daily time frame, this amount of set of candles represent a particular trend? Let's say like a 4-day candle, if it is showing a bullish direction, it is a bullish trend. So is there some ideal benchmark in order to
No,
understand the trend? Yeah.
as I mean, you can form a benchmark based on your back testing, but there is no theoretical benchmark. There are moving averages, and people generally consider that if the market has closed below 20-day moving average, that means so this is, if you look at this orange color line, so this orange color line is what we call as a 20-day moving average. So if the market closes below 20-day moving average, that is where you can see people will say that yes, market is bearish. Here people will say market is bearish, but then market again went up. Here people will say market is bearish, market went up, did not close above the previous high, so they are still into the trade, and the market is going down again. Market just crashed after that. Anyways, this is a black swan event, so we'll not consider this. So 20-day moving average is one signal which, as per me and also many of the industry experts, they would say that yes, 20-day moving average is one signal, that if there is a closing below 20-day moving average, people will say that bullish trend has been compromised. Or if the closing has been above 20-day moving average, they will say that the bearish trend has been compromised. So now there is a possibility of trend reversal.
Got it, Vivek. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So this is now we are going into hardcore technicals. Candlesticks. In the last session, we discussed just about how a candlestick is formed. Today we have discussed how to trade candlesticks, which candlesticks to enter the trade with, when to enter, when to exit, and what is the significance of different types of candles, as well as we discussed a bit of the market jargons. So I think today's session has been pretty heavy, and and if you want to do more research on the technical analysis, and if you're interested, my suggestion would be please go through this session again if the time permits. So if there are no other questions, I think maybe we can close. Okay, so in that WhatsApp group, guys, we can make it more interactive. Whenever you guys get any questions, even during, if you get a chance to go through my previous sessions, you find some confusion and you need more clarities, etc., please feel free to ask questions on that WhatsApp group. I will also start getting more involved on those WhatsApp groups. So office works pretty much keeps me busy throughout the week. I only get Saturday, Sunday for this particular session, but I will make sure that I go through all the 10 sessions and even further if the time permits. So thank you very much, everyone, for your valuable time. I hope this session has been of some help, and we'll look forward to the next session the next weekend. So see you all the next weekend. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.